Regressor of the Fallen Family, Chapter 14. Chapter 14. Ugh. Brother, the one-eyed slave boy regained consciousness with a murmur, nestled against Kai's back. It wasn't long after Kai had carried the boy to transport him to a priest due to his severe injuries. Despite the boy's condition appearing critical, he regained consciousness much faster than expected, causing the younger sister walking beside them, and even Kai, who was carrying him, to look back in surprise. However, only Logan remained unfazed. He's really quick to get back up. It was a natural consequence since he had been secretly using the power of a force core throughout the journey. The life energy Logan had poured into the boy, using the maximum output he could manage for over 30 minutes, was far better than the sacred magic of average low-level priests. The boy's recovery was nothing unexpected to Logan. However, what concerned him was the younger sister, who kept glancing back and forth between her brother and Logan. Could it be? Even knights sensitive to the matter didn't notice the foreign aspects of his force in experiments. For example, Kai, who carried the boy, didn't sense anything unusual, so how could such a young child? It must be a coincidence. Dismissing it casually, Logan flashed a bright smile at the regained boy. Awake now, Victor? Congratulations on escaping the troubles of a violent master. But the response that came to his smile was a sudden punch. Die! The speed of the punch was surprising, coming from a boy so thin and frail. Despite the child's attempt, the punch was harmless against Logan. As Logan dodged the punch with a baffled expression, Kai, who was holding the child, immediately turned and pinned him down. Crash. Ugh! Saint, stop! Let me go! Brother! Ruria? What should we do with this one, employer? In the chaotic turn of events, Logan sighed and gestured to Kai as they looked at Victor, who had been subdued with an arm twist. Kai took the hint to let go, and the instant he stepped back, the boy, Victor, lunged at Logan again. Rhea, run away! Is he full of fight or just foolish? Sigh. Logan gripped the boy's neck and lifted it to meet his eyes head on. Kid, do you not see the situation? Do I look like those slaver bastards you're used to? An overwhelming murderous intent, surpassing that of the average Force user, blazed from the two red eyes. It was so surprising that even Kai, standing behind him, was startled, and it was impossible for the young boy, Victor, to bear it. Victor instantly groaned, his face turning pale. Gak-ack. Brother, please, mercy. Ignoring the young girl clinging to his feet, Logan only stared coldly at Victor's increasingly pale face. It's good to have spirit, but you have to choose your battles. Grarg. Only death awaits a dog that can't discern who to fight, kid. Thud. Ugh, cough, Logan coldly spoke while looking down at the boy coughing on the ground. Let this be your last warning, Victor. Follow my words, and your sister's safety will be guaranteed. But if such an incident occurs again... Shh. The murderous intent filled in his red eyes bore into Victor's very soul. Not only you, but also your sister will be disposed of. Crack. As Logan casually crushed a pebble in his hand, the color drained from Victor's face. Then he slowly nodded. Good. Believing that the lesson had been taken to heart, Logan finally offered a carrot. I intend to teach you martial arts. I will have you trained as a knight, and eventually make you one. At those words, Victor's head shot up. His eyes, a mix of red and blue, widened dramatically. Me? Are you talking about me? Not only Victor was surprised by Logan's words. Kai, who had overheard the conversation, couldn't hide his shock, and neither could the dwarf Hammer. The unexpected move to make a knight out of a slave child they had just bought seemed outrageous to them. But Logan looked steadily into Victor's eyes without a hint of uncertainty. Yes, as you might know, a knight is a rank of nobility. Naturally, this would free you from the status of a slave. But the expression of the blue-haired kid, which had been filled with nothing but venom, changed rapidly in a matter of seconds. Whether he should trust those words and if he could indeed undergo knight training. A whirlwind of thoughts must be swirling in his head. However, Logan did not give him much time to ponder. If you faithfully follow my instructions and become a knight, I not only will clear your name, but also your sister's. Furthermore. I will do it, Victor responded, before the sentence was even complete. Apart from the agonizing screams, it was the first robust voice Logan had heard from Victor since they had met. Logan noted that this eager response came immediately after the welfare of his sister was mentioned. Indeed, this kid. The presence of the small girl who clung tightly to his side reassured Logan that she might be the key to taming any untamed ferocity within a potential noble killer. Good. Your sister will receive basic education, including literacy and etiquette, but if you become lazy or cause problems again, I'll work hard. The differently colored eyes blazed intensely as if shooting flames. Satisfied with that fiery gaze, Logan nodded slightly and smiled contentedly. Having acquired a new objective in a future Aura user, in addition to the dwarf and battle instructor, Logan's step was light. However, returning to the McLaine territory would take some time. Victor and his sister appeared much smaller than their peers due to insufficient nutrition and could not endure a journey at full gallop on horseback. Still, Logan couldn't constantly adjust to their pace. He showed consideration by slowing down the journey that would normally take 3 days to 5 days. They're actually holding up quite well. Logan had the siblings ride on Kai's horse and Hammer's pony. Despite the sore from riding the bouncing horses on the first day, by the next, they smoothly adapted to the movement, and by the third day, they endured even the challenging gallop. It wasn't just Victor who was aware he would become an Aura user and thus might be talented in physical control, but his sister also managed well. Could it be their bloodline? As Logan contemplated revising the siblings' education plan, their group arrived at the McLaine territory. The old castle that served as a fortress to block mountain monsters when the McLaine had been lords of the southwestern region had become the modest stronghold of the now declining McLaine family. Entering the decrepit castle, Logan encountered peeling eyes of surprise, parting like waves. Many territory residents avoided from far away, while those who could not escape close contact immediately fell flat and trembled at the sight of him. Looking at the even worse treatment than before his departure, Logan could only flash a bitter smile. It was not unlike the treatment a tyrant deserving scorn might receive. Even Kai, usually without expression, glanced at Logan from time to time, and the faces of Victor and his sister darkened in real time. Too many questions lingered, but before anyone could voice them, the unwitting dwarf spoke up. "Master, to come home to such treatment, what on earth did you do out there?" With a wry smile, Logan tuned his hearing to grasp the whispers echoing from afar. "He's lost it. Monster enthusiast. I heard he's into corpses. Either way, not normal. Putting the family to shame. Why summon mercenaries to heighten the unease? He even bought young slaves. What's he planning?" Whispers were spreading at an alarmingly baffling rate. How did they find out about what happened in Harun already? And every single rumor had bizarrely twisted the truth, plunging the already rock-bottom family reputation even deeper underground. "It's just rumors. It's not relevant to your duties, so don't worry about it." Despite their unease, the party could only nod at Logan's calm demeanor, but Logan himself had a nagging feeling. This may become a hassle. That ominous premonition turned into reality as they entered the castle. "My lord!" Although it had been a while since he had seen him, Rick's face was somewhat contorted by his hasty entrance as he shouted fervently for Logan, and before Logan could even respond, Rick screamed as if crying out. "What have you been doing out there?" Although he somewhat anticipated it, the reaction was even more intense than expected. "What is this talk of spending over 150,000 gold on useless monster meat? The most absurd rumor I've ever heard. It must be a lie, a misinterpretation, right? Tell me it's so." Rick pressed on without a breath, and his appearance was almost pitiful, but Logan remained unfazed. "It's true." Logan's indifferent answer turned Rick's expression more desperate. "The rumors all over say that you've lost your mind. The Lord wants you home immediately." I see." "You see? What are you seeing? This is not the time for you to be calm." "It's all right." "It's not all right." Is your speech getting shorter? "You really don't seem to grasp the situation. I've been trying to explain and excuse it, but to think all that was actually true." Though Rick was visibly more distressed about the situation than him, Logan simply smiled. "Don't worry, it will be resolved quickly." "Ah, are you even listening to me?" Ignoring Rick's desperate pleas, Logan made his way straight to the Lord's residence. "Logan here. Come in." Almost as if expecting him, a deep voice beckoned, and Logan entered without delay. As I thought. The sight of the two people seated at the head of the meeting room oozed coldness. As soon as he entered, a cold voice that matched the sight addressed him. So was your runaway pleasant? It was a meaningful outing on my part. Hearing the rumors, it seems you've enjoyed a mad escapade. At least it was worth it for you. Sigh. This is becoming troublesome. His father's reaction was worse than he expected. But unlike his inner thoughts, his reply was ready and immediate. Rumors are merely that. There is no shame in my actions. To those words, his stepmother, Marianne, showed an incredulous expression, while his father, Patrick, seemed slightly hopeful. Are the rumors misconstrued? I'm not sure which rumors you refer to. The young lord has been collecting monster meat, bought a young slave and a dwarf, recruited hundreds of low-level mercenaries into the territory. I've omitted the hyperboles and stated the facts. Marianne helped him kindly with an explanation, which made Logan's brows furrow, but his demeanor remained unchanged. Is there anything among these you wish to apologize for? Not at all. Patrick's eyebrows twitched at the confident answer. That means they're all true. Yes, they are. Look, you see, the young lord lacks self-awareness. He doesn't realize how his actions tarnish our family's honor. Mother, that is too harsh. What? I used the money obtained from my annulled engagement as I saw fit. Father has already stated that it is not his concern. The two locked gazes. Marianne's sharp eyes and Logan's bold red eyes exchanged sharp glares. A heavy sigh emerged from the other red-eyed individual, Patrick. You heard it, don't you? Even now, will you continue to take his side? Enough. The young lord is fundamentally wrong. Enough, my lady. Patrick's voice boomed intimidatingly, resounding within the room as Marianne's face turned white. You! How can you speak to me like that? My lady, please step outside. I would like to have a word with Logan alone. You really. This will be my last warning to Logan. The word warning seemed to mollify her a bit, whether it was the effect of the previous scolding or something else. Marianne shot one last venomous glance at Logan before exiting silently. Of course, there was a bit of lingering resentment. Bang! Even after the study door closed with a noise that could break it, Patrick gazed at his eldest son with a heavy look for a long time, and soon a voice heavier than his gaze filled the room. What exactly is the problem, Logan? It looks like I won't be able to get away with a simple answer. Upon hearing his father's voice, Logan sensed it. His expression hardened as he contemplated his answer, but his father's calm voice proceeded ahead. Let's have a frank conversation. What's the issue? What's the reason for all this? If I told you, you wouldn't understand. You don't wish to be understood? That's not it. Do you actually have a reason? Yes, I do. Ugh. The sigh transmitted a palpable frustration. Patrick was about to continue when a low voice, filled with complex emotions, silenced Logan's response. Are you aware of how people are speaking of you? I have some idea. Do you? They say you're violent, cruel, obsessed with money, and recently you've gone crazy. Among these, how much have you actually heard? Shall I detail more specific rumors? Patrick wasn't seeking a real answer, so Logan quietly kept his mouth shut. How long must I continue to cover for you? If there is a set term, then speak up. Faced with a voice filled with lament and a deeply sunken expression, Logan found himself involuntarily bowing his head. To this was added a comment like a dagger to the heart. Doing so might at least warrant an excuse that you did your best to your deceased mother. Upon hearing this, Logan's expression turned rigid. The topic of Logan's biological mother was a mutual sore point between the two, essentially a taboo within the family. Yet, this mention was nothing short of an ultimatum from his father, Patrick. Silent until then, Logan eventually spoke with a heavy tone. 1 year. Please give me just 1 year. What? Patrick's expression changed dramatically, caught utterly off guard by the unexpected response.